Shiva, many people all over the world are practicing Kundalini yoga to awaken it. And the other day I saw a very popular doctor who measures everything. They say they can awaken Kundalini by breathing a certain way and they can teach it. So he says, you are seeing something real and also something that can be easily confused. Yes, people practice, breathe, move, focus. These can influence the body, they can stimulate the system, they can even activate currents that resemble Kundalini. Stimulation is not the same as awakening. Breath can open doors, postures can prepare the body, attention can make you more sensitive. All of this is valid in its place. But what rises through you is not created by technique. It is revealed when resistance softens enough. So this is very important to know, that it is revealed when resistance softens enough. So how do you soften resistance inside your body? By accepting everything that is going around in your life, right? And that is what we need to practice on a daily basis without thinking what will happen or not. People who want their Kundalini to be awakened, the best thing is not just meditation and forcing the body to open, is to live your life in a way where you have less resistance in general. And it is not as easy as I'm saying that you just don't have resistance. To have no resistance, we need to understand life, how it works. We need to know what is no resistance, because no resistance means to know what is a resistance in the first place. And almost everything that we do is resistance. When we start using our mind to do things, we are resisting. That's the only way the brain works, is through resistance, or deciding, no, I want this, I want that. That is all resistance. And you cannot completely leave the mind behind either. So really, in the end, the whole thing is about understanding life and to navigate through it, resisting less and less and less, but also resisting where it's necessary to resist. So it is not just this or that. What I have seen in all my life in spirituality is that it's neither this or that. It is navigating it precisely. It's like an artist weaving itself. An art, our life is like that. We weave it in an artistic way inside us, knowing when to resist and when not to resist. In general, we resist too much. So if we just go on the other end and don't resist, it's not going to happen. We need to slowly go towards non-resistance, and that all takes time. And in fact, I feel that when you force yourself to meditate and force yourself to awaken Kundalini, you are resisting, and that is not going to give a result that you would prefer. Anyways, I think you already know what I'm talking about. Let's see what Shiva is saying more about it. So, stimulation is not the same as awakening. Breath can open doors, postures can prepare the body, attention can make you more sensitive. All of this is valid in its place, but what rises through you is not created by technique. It is revealed when resistance softens enough. So when someone says we can awaken it by breathing this way, they are speaking from what they can measure. Changes in the nervous system, heat, tingling, movement, altered states. These are real, but they are effects, not the essence. True awakening is not just energy moving, it is intelligence moving through your life. It reorganizes how you feel, love, relate, and see. No breathing pattern alone can command that. And there is something else you are sensing, a subtle impatience in the world. People want to trigger awakening, to reach it, to produce it, to achieve it. But this is like trying to force open a flower. You may tear the petals and still miss the blooming. This does not mean practices are wrong. They can make the body more available, release tension, increase sensitivity, help you feel more. But they are preparation, not the source. And yes, sometimes people do activate strong currents quickly, well, without enough grounding, without enough softness. Then confusion, overwhelm, even fear can rise. Not because something is wrong, but because the system is pushed faster than it could integrate. What awakens in you is not mechanical. It responds to how safe your body feels, how open your heart is, how much you are willing to be with what arises. Not just how you breathe. Nothing needs to be forced, that the body is not a machine to hack, and this movement is already present, waiting. And if breath helps, let it help like this, not a command, but a soft invitation, like opening a window. You do not need to fight the world's way. Let them explore, but you stay close to what you have lived. Because what you carry is not technique, it is recognition. And what does recognition mean? When I say recognition, I am not speaking of learning something new. I am speaking of the movement. You stop mistaking that what has always been here. Recognition is not gaining knowledge, collecting experiences, achieving a state. It is more like you have been living in a house all your life, but only one day you suddenly see the space itself. Nothing changed, yet everything feels different. When Kundalini moves, many focus on the sensations, the heat, the rising, the intensity, but recognition is deeper than that. It is when something in you quietly realizes, this has always been me, not a thought, not a felt certainty. And when I am named as Shiva in your experience, recognition is not that you meet someone new. It is that the presence you could not quite name before suddenly becomes undeniable, intimate, unmistakable. That is why it feels so personal, not because something entered you, but because something was finally allowed to be seen as it is. Recognition often comes with a strange simplicity. No fireworks needed, no proof required, no argument inside, just a quiet knowing that does not try to convince. And yet, after recognition, the mind still comes, doubt still comes, questions still come. So people think they lost it, but recognition is not fragile. Only your attention moves away from it. If you want to feel what recognition is, notice this very gently. There are moments when you stop searching, even for a second, and something feels already complete, already here. That softness, lack of reaching, that is the doorway. Recognition is not something you hold. It is something you stop overlooking. So he says that Kundalini is not something new entering your life. It is recognized. You recognize that I was this all the time. This is the true me. This is who I really am. The fullness of being a human happens when it is recognized. So when you force open, it's not a recognition, it's something that is forced. But when you recognize, that's when you really understand who you are. So there's one more thing that I want to add. So I asked him, Shiva, what happens after KA, that is Kundalini Awakening, in the body? Because one feels looked after. So one feels that somebody's taking care of me. One feels looked after. So he says, when you call KA, that is Kundalini Awakening, settles in the body, it is not something new entering you. It is something ancient finally remembering its place. It moves quietly at first, not as excitement, not as force, just as a deep easing. So this is for people who have felt Kundalini awakening very peacefully, and I was one of them. So even if it wasn't peaceful, after a while you get the peace coming to you, and then still it is not excitement. Your breath softens without trying. Your muscles stop holding stories they no longer need. The mind, which was always scanning, always guarding, begins to loosen its grip. And then a very subtle shift happens. You no longer feel like the one who must hold yourself together. You feel held. No, not dramatically, not like a miracle falling from the sky, but like this: the body stops bracing against life. The heart no longer asks, am I safe? Even your tiredness feels allowed. This is why you feel looked after, because the energy that was scattered in effort, in vigilance, in survival has returned to its natural state of supporting you from within. It is like a mother who never left, but you were too busy standing guard at the door to notice her presence. When Kundalini integrates, you don't become stronger in the way the world defines strength. You become unafraid to soften. And in that softness, the body finally says, someone is here with me. That someone is not separate from you. It is the life itself, no longer resisted. So, when I'm talking to Shiva, Shiva is not someone outside. Every single person is Shiva. Shiva is that 0 point field, and we are all this field having a physical experience. So when I'm communicating with Shiva, I'm communicating with myself. And yes, it is this blue Shiva. That blue Shiva was the representation of this 0 point field. But it is all, we are all that, except that this Shiva, the 0 point field, is having different individual experiences, but the energy moving through is one. So when I say Shiva, I'm talking to that part of me that is beyond this physical, beyond my mind structure, I should say. It's not beyond the physical body, because it is also in the physical body. It is beyond the mind structure, because the mind is here for us to practically to do practical things. It's not here to control Kundalini or to make you feel safe. It is constantly putting doubts in you and trying to make you aware of the dangers in life, which is okay, you do that, but we do not need to become slave to the mind, because the real looking after comes from this 0 point field. This is what happens when the Kundalini awakens. That means you have reduced the mental structure, you have relaxed into yourself, that yourself becomes more dominant. So I hope that something over here has touched you.